The Yankees probably played their worst series of the year, but it all gets washed away after the news that came out right after it. Rafael Devers going to San Francisco for a group of prospects that I don't know is enough to replace the impact that Devers had on that team. What's going on, guys? King of Honor 61st, and I'm back with another video, and thank you to the Boston Red Sox, because outside of game one, this series was absolute dog shit for the New York Yankees, and now I don't really have to talk about it. I didn't want to talk about it. I had no desire to talk about it. Now they gave me something else to talk about. So thank you to the Boston Red Sox. I'll say one thing about that series. Instant replay has to go both ways. If there's going to be close calls or marginal, really on the line, getting overturned, then that has to go both ways. And if it's not, then it has to go the other way. They can't call Volpe out when there's no evidence that his fingers are not on the base. But then when there's real evidence that the ball that DJ LeMahieu hit the line directly, you can see it clear as day, hit that line. Now you're scared to overturn it. Seems like a little bit of a double standard there. But outside of that stretch, this series was god-awful for the New York Yankees. But let's get to the real news of the day. Rafael Devers was traded across the nation all the way to San Francisco for Jordan Hicks, failed starter, okay reliever, a top 30 prospect starter who is now back in the minor leagues, a recently drafted bat that looks really good, and a DSL rookie prospect out of the Dominican Republic, Jose Bea. This trade, to me, I know that San Francisco was also picking up the entire contract for the duration, meaning Boston is now wiped clean of that deal. So that is really good for Boston now that they have that flexibility money-wise to go out and make extra moves. So that's an extra layer to this that has to be added to the content. The top piece in this is now in the minor league. The other two guys outside of Jordan Hicks are very far away from being major league players. Jordan Hicks won't help the starting rotation issues that you've had outside of facing the Yankees. And if you threw him in the bullpen, all right, that's cool. But is that worth how much Rafael Devers meant to this lineup? And this is where the Yankees come into play, because now as a Yankee fan, I look at this lineup and I say, okay, Jarren Duran is a good player. Rafael, a good player. Roman Anthony will be a good player. Marcelo Meyer could be a good player. Christian Campbell, if he can make adjustments to his swing, he has potential. They have a lot of guys that are good players. No one in that lineup strikes fear into my soul like Rafael Devers did. Devers had a certain swing and certain power with him that he was able to take into every at-bat. He gave pitchers fear, saying, no matter what you throw me, there's a chance I'm hitting this out of the park. Garrett Cole now is jumping for joy. He is doing cartwheels in the street, even on his torn elbow, because now the menace is gone. Boston's lineup, although you could say he wasn't a team player, he wasn't really for the team, the locker room, and we'll get to all of that. One thing you cannot say is that the Red Sox, as talent for talent, are as good as they were when they swept the Yankees. They are not as good today as they were yesterday. They are now a worse baseball team. Outside of that first couple weeks of the season, where he went 0 for 18 with like 17 strikeouts, looked god-awful. He has been one of the best hitters in baseball. And Devers kills the AL East, especially the rival New York Yankees. He has the most home runs against the Yankees for a single player out of any player in Major League Baseball, by like 10. He has 30 home runs against the Yankees. You're not replacing that with who you have in this roster right now. Who's going to take that over? What, Trevor Story? Look, I'm not going to diss Trevor Story. He's had a nice recovery to his season. But at the same time, a lot of his hits were dink and dunk. They were not really high exit velocity hits. To me, seems like the Yankees can stop that. There's a lot of things in this series that the Yankees could have prevented, but didn't. And part of that was due to some of the fears that came in this lineup. If you go into Fenway Park and you're playing Boston, I'm not looking at anyone else in this lineup and saying, I am scared of you. Maybe Rob Refsnyder if you have a lefty on the mound. But outside of that, like Jarren Duran, good player, could be an all-star level player. But at the plate, he doesn't strike fear into me. They have a nice cohesive group. You know, maybe with the power of friendship, they can turn this season back from middle of the pack 500 to starting to play better baseball. But when it comes down to it, if you want to win a World Series, which I know Boston does, they needed a guy who can strike fear in someone. And now, especially as a Yankee fan, I can take a deep breath because 0 people in that lineup now strike fear. Aaron Judge strikes fear into other lineups. You need that type of bat that other teams look at and they say, shit, how are we getting him out? The ragtag team is not going to cut it. There's a reason why in 2023, when Aaron Judge went out, the Yankees just fell apart. We had good players. We had solid players. No one struck fear into a lineup like Aaron Judge. They were able to attack until the Yankees wore down. That's what teams are going to start doing to Boston. And now if we look at the bright sides for Boston on this hand of like, oh, he's not a good teammate, he's not a good representative of the team, I actually have a different view of this right now. Yes, after looking at context, it is true. Devers did try to play third base over Alex Bregman. That is not really what a team player is supposed to do. But at the same time, this general manager, president of baseball operations group, they have done a terrible job with communication with your star player. This is a player that was owed $250 million. You would assume that type of player gets noticed when his job is about to change. The way the Red Sox handled the Devers situation shows how dysfunctional of a franchise that actually is. Everyone loves to talk about how, oh, the Red Sox front office is how you want to do it. That's how you do it. The Red Sox are like one of the pinnacle front offices in baseball. No, since 2018, they've been one of the more embarrassing front offices in baseball. Just think about this. That 2018 team seemed unstoppable. And now every single player from that team is gone. And they all didn't just get old. There's guys like Mookie Betts, Xander Bogaerts, Rafael Devers, Chris Sale. All these guys were on that team and every single one of them is gone. And a lot of it has to do with front office dysfunction. And this situation is no different. You don't talk to him about switching positions. Then you go and bash him to the media. Then when he accepts his DH role and he starts picking it up with the bat, yes, I get it. Tristan Casas goes down with an injury. You don't have a first baseman on the roster. First of all, shows other forms of dysfunction on this team, meaning that, oh, you need Rafi Devers to move to first base, a position he's never played, because you didn't prepare for a possible injury of a guy who's been injury prone his entire career. That's a bit dysfunctional to me. To me, this all together, and even the reason they traded him, the fact that he went to the front office and said, hey, I don't like the way I've been treated this season. Either treat me with more respect or trade me. And then they decided, oh, you're not above the team, we're gonna trade you. This is just all signs of dysfunction. And it makes me laugh as a Yankees fan because this team was looking good. They just won a series against the Yankees, were able to win another series after that, and then swept the Yankees over a week span to put themselves back into conversation of a playoff spot. That's a lot better than anything they've done. And Devers is out here talking about, oh, we can do more. We're not even at our highest level. Well, now Boston is about to fall back into obscurity. And this could come back to haunt. If Roman Anthony starts to look like the superstar everyone says he is, if Marcelo Meyer comes in and he's now becoming one of the best middle infielders in baseball, Christian Campbell gets his first month rookie form back, then this comes back to haunt me. Whatever. As constructed right now, I am no longer scared of the Boston Red Sox. The Yankees just caught a break, and hopefully this leads to easier pastures along the way. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Let me know, what did you think about the Devers trade? Did you think it was fair? Did you think the Red Sox handled it well? Do you think I'm off base? Let me know down below. Like the video if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new. I'm out of here. Take care and peace.